Hi guys, it's Belle here and I'm back with another journal flip through, this time of my, what month are we in? April. You guys like that? You're like, what month? What day is it? Anyway, this is my April design team project for Release the Craftin. It's using her dark fantasy kit. You may see my sleeves as I'm doing this, and yes, it is a Christmas top, but in these days where things are stressful, you just got to make yourself smile where you can. And well, I just felt like wearing a Christmas top today. So the dark fantasy kit is beautiful, and it really put me in mind of like fairies, and you'll see as you go through, there's purples and greens and like blacks and all these kind of images in it. So I went for a sort of woodland fairy / fairy tale theme for this journal, and this is Violetta. So let me introduce you. This is a hardback journal. I don't make a lot of hardback journals, and this was my first attempt at making a fabric hardback journal with embossing and a hidden spine, just to make things super easy for myself. So it's got these ridges on its back here. It's got this embossing on the front, which you can see. And the sort of way I wanted it to look was almost like one of those books, you know, like you see faded tapestries or wallpaper in really old houses, like from medieval times and things. Obviously, this isn't medieval, but I wanted it to have that kind of faded, almost like the gold you can see, the glimmer. I hope you can. It tells of beautiful decoration of ages ago, and since then it's been forgotten somewhere, and it's got a bit of not mold, but that kind of greenish look on it. It's been forgotten, maybe in the back of an old library somewhere in a old castle, or maybe it has been in the woodlands and in some, you know, fairy tale cottage where there's Hansel and Gretel or somewhere, and this is in the corner, sort of up against the wall, getting a bit of damp and worn, but also a very much loved book. So that's the style I was going for. So I didn't want the embossing on the front to stand out too much. I've used different paints, and I've also used some Prima wax on here, and it's got a little fairy in the middle, and this is actual moss. So I've used moss on the front and some flowers that I've also sort of used wax and stuff on, and some leaves, and then these like little brass accents. And then, like I said, you've got the ridges, and that's the back. And she has a super long, I'm trying to get it, tassel, so it's actually longer than the book, and the tassel is removable. And let me take that off and show you quickly. So it's got all sorts of similar colours, and it's got like believe, lost and found, because that made me laugh, some beads, little leaf there if you can see, mushroom, can't get it the right way round, sorry, all thumbs today, mushrooms, more beads. There's a little fairy tale book, true story charm in there. There's a fairy somewhere. There's a little like pixie charm. So lots of textures on there, and like I said, it's long and it kind of acts as this beautiful tail for her, but it is removable. So let's get into it. It's 2 signatures. Hardback opens flat when you move that. I wanted to leave this plain, but again, it's got that kind of fairy tale kind of pattern. It's some scrapbook paper. This is the page of the first signature. Oh, I didn't show you the side. It's full of texture and fabrics and bits sticking out, and I've left loads of threads hanging top and bottom. Again, to give it that kind of worn feel, as if like everything's fraying because it's aged. It's got this beautiful snake and this flower on there. And this is one of the pages in the book, and I've made several of these embellishments out of sort of corrugated card and used some of the images of the kit, and that's a little tuck spot with a little tag in there. Again, everything's backed, some Edith Holden, and then we've got fairy tales are more than true with a few butterflies I've added onto that, so hopefully you're in shot with this. Lots of different colour papers, lots of stenciling. Here's her name tag, Violetta, in this little fabric pocket. This fabric actually has a slight gold sheen. I don't know if you can see that, but it reminded me of in the front. And this is another tag that you get in the kit. So lots of space, some die cuts. This is a beautiful page from a Peter Pan fairy tale book that I have, and the artwork's stunning. It went perfectly with the style that I was trying to do in this book. There is lots of room to actually, oh gosh, bit of something there, to actually write if you wanted to. And there's the other side of that beautiful Peter Pan book. I don't know if people would, but you can write in this. Music paper with a little, that's a rub-on of a fairy there, and some writing space on the back. Lots of die-cut leaves. One of my fabric button embellishments. Can you see that well? I feel like I'm not in screen today. Lots of little fairies stamped throughout. Some scrapbook paper with a journaling card. I think this is from one of our other kits that I had, but it just went so well. Little fabric tab there and some blue dyed paper. Beautiful flower page with, again, I like to add stitched pieces like this. Page from the kit, gorgeous with the mushrooms and the browns, and you can really see how vibrant that is with the blue pearls. And this kind of reminded me of Beauty and the Beast, which is why I sort of felt that fairy tale kind of feel. Edith Holden page with a little frog. You'll see quite a few frogs through here. This is a little fabric embellishment, but I've got those Tim Holtz acetate butterflies, and I've stitched that behind, and it says Fairy Magic. I really love those. I love the sort of feel that they give. Fabric flip with gorgeous paper underneath, and there's just a little frog and leaf there, but this can be moved to the side, so if you wanted to write, it's not bulky for the other page. So that's on there. Lots of beautiful fabrics. Really hope I'm in shot. Another fairy stamp and some paper. Space to write on here. I use some of this like twine with leaves on it on some of the pages, and mushroom. And then I had this woodland page, which this is the kind of woodland I think the cottage of whoever owns this book, or the castle of whoever owns this book, is in, sort of thing. And lots of woodland bits on the back. Another little fairy up there and some stenciling. So again, lots of places to write. I've done 2 of these pockets that I've made with laminated dried flowers, so you can see through it, which I think is lovely. And this is one of the tags in the kit. It's just so beautiful. That purple with that blue. Just added a fabric tab and some paper on the back, and I like the way you can sort of see the butterfly through there. More fabric. One of the pockets in the kits that I've just done some embossing on, and a little embellishment down there. And this is one of the pages in the kit that I've cut down to make a journaling card, and that's also part of the kit. Again, one of the corrugated embellishments. Really love the feel and texture of those. Gorgeous owl, more beads, and oh, it's a beautiful page. And so this is the middle of the signature. Look at that. The paper almost looks like it's velvet. It's just scrummy. I think that's one of my favourite pages. And I've just done these beads. There's in this signature, it's a gold one with green on the bottom, and in the other signature, as you'll see, it has purple. But that is just beautiful. And you could write on that in silver pen or something. embellishment with a die cut. Really wanted to pick up lots of the purples. It's a belly band that comes in the kit, and I had one of my hand dyed, this is like a lilac purple index card, and I've just stamped a fairy image on there. This is actually, hold on, let me get a piece of paper. Oh, excuse me. Oh, throwing papers at me now. This is actually a paper clip, an embellished paper clip. Bring you a bit closer for that. And it's embellished on both sides, so it completely comes off the page and embellished on both sides, and then just tucks back on the page there. And there's one of those in the other signature too. More writing space, more of that woodland forest paper. Actually says winter thriving woodland mosses, just perfect. And a gold die cut there, saying a lot today. More of that twine and leaf. And then we've got this image that I've just backed onto the music paper with a bit of fabric, a bit of what am I looking for? What's the word? You'll remember the word. I'll remember it in a minute. And it just says wishes. Looks like the witch going to the girl, or the fairy, giving her asking her what she wants. And the fabric embellishment with buttons. Some of these buttons are vintage. And I had a go at making fabric snippets. There's 3 of these in the book. And I absolutely love how they've turned out. And there's a little Celtic charm there. And then I've made a collage card using some of the papers in the kit. And then just lots of stitching in here as well on the embellishments, on some of the pages. Some mushrooms there, an Edith Holden page. And that moth up there, it's gorgeous with the moon. Oh, and the butterfly and the dragon and the key. It's just gorgeous. Space to write. This is again one of the pages in the book, but I've cut it down to make it into a pocket, and I'm hoping you can see I've actually embossed in gold with some stamp on there. And then this is one of the journaling cards in the book, and you can see the butterfly has got a key on it. It's gorgeous. Backed. Another large fabric pocket, and in here we have another one of the journaling cards from the kit. You could actually write there if you wanted, or put something. And then I've just made this like little scrappy pad out of some of the papers I've had left. And here we've got one of there's 3 envelopes in the kit. There's 2 in here. I've like stenciled the inside. Look at that gorgeous frog. Oh, just beautiful. Princess and the frog, which reminds me of that. But you know, fairies, they have friends who are frogs. They live in the woodlands. So, and again, one of my sorry, too many embossed embellishments, not embossed, corrugated embellishments. And this one says something dreadfully wicked, because you know the original fairy tales weren't all beautiful, and not all fairies around the world are wonderful fairies. Some are quite mean. Right, and that says the home under the ground. That's from the Peter Pan book. Being Irish, I know a lot of our fairies aren't the kind of fairies that you are very nice and just grant wishes to be lovely. We're always warned, don't make them angry, and don't go out on May Day and things like that. And here's a beautiful fairy sticker there with all her greens and purples and blues with a fabric tab. And here we have a fabric paper clip. I hope you can see that. I really don't know if I'm in shot. It's beautiful and sunny, but I don't seem to be getting the sun. And I had this postcard, so I thought that went really well. Just tucks in there. Go over the page. Edith Holden. And then that's the end of the first signature. So the second signature, I've gone for slightly darker colours, because the kit has these beautiful colours and then it has slightly darker ones. So, oh, look at that with the moon. And again, I don't know how she manages to get the texture on the pages that make it look like fabric. Some mushrooms. And turn it over, and there's one of the journaling cards in the kit. A little frog with the mushrooms. And another one of those, it says, do you believe in fairies, with the Tim Holtz acetate butterflies. I really love how they look. It's just some scrapbook paper that I've done an embellishment on. And in here is one of the tags in the kit. Gorgeous. Ow, look at it. And this is a journaling card. Again, I think this is from a different kit. This might be from her moon kit, but it just went so well. I wanted to add it. A little fairy up there. Some die cuts, some leaves and things. This is my shadow from, it's a kid's poem book, an old one that I've got, and I just love it. It says my shadow, and it reminds me so much of Peter Pan, and as I was using the Peter Pan books, and obviously you've got Tinkerbell and the Lost Boys, and then the other side is the Land of Nod, which again makes me think of sleeping and dream states and all that kind of thing. Little mushroom there, more space to write in a fabric embellishment with some buttons. Another little fairy, they just pop up through the book to say hello. Another one of my corrugated card, and it says his curiosity fully awake, because you know you have to be curious to go searching for fairies and be ready for whatever you may find. This one of the pages in the kit, one of the blank pages, which is just beautiful, the stars on it. And this is actually from one of the pages in the kit as well, the lined one of the plain lined pages she gives you, and I've sort of cut a few down and used them throughout the book as well. Stenciling on there, don't know how I got it, but these almost look like roses. It's just another one of those instances where you hand dye paper and then never know how you get that again. And there's the other pocket with the laminated flowers, and this she gives you some plain tags in the kit, so I've embossed some green vines on there and then embossed a fairy and stitched around it, which I think looks lovely in there with the little gold. There's the other fabric paperclip snippet one. Oh, I'm really having fun making snippets at the moment. And another fairy, some paper, some butterflies, and flower paper from a book I've got. And then we've got legends and a little like gnome by this door, and again I've embossed some vines coming down and stuff, because you know there's always little doorways in the woods that you have to keep an eye out for, and you don't know who may live on them, so be careful if you're knocking. You don't know who may answer. And a little fairy and some die cuts. Some of these are shimmery, some aren't. And this says I believe in fairies. There's a large fabric pocket again, and in here I've got this sort of journaling card. It looks again like a fairy and the frog, and I've embossed, this isn't in the kit, this is something I had in my stash, and I've embossed some vines on there and put fairy queen, but I kind of wanted it to have this ripped edge, like someone's found it somewhere and pulled it from something, and you know it's all ripped and worn. And then Lost in the Woods embellishment, and this is another one of the pages from the Peter Pan book. It's just beautiful. This is the room I think they make for Mary in the Lost Boys place, and here look at that, look at the faces. It's just gorgeous, 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 gorgeous. And a little mini flick here made from some sort of boho fabrics with beads and sequins on, so it sparkles. Fairy on her toadstool with her book. It is strange to think of fairies reading fairy tales to themselves. Is that strange? I don't know. And there's some thistle from Edith Holden book. More stenciling. Some die cut corners and a large snippet belly band. And in here you've got one of the journaling cards from the kit. And then behind that is another tea stained index card with a fairy again stamped on it and a little charm there. And this is probably my second favourite page in the kit. Look at that, it's just, especially with the purple on it, just stunning. I really hope you can see how beautiful these pages are. And that's the middle signature, and there's the charm for that, which is purple to match how this is the slightly darker side. Look at that moth. I mean, oh, stunning. And it's got the moon phases. It's a little fairy kicking up the daisies there. And there's the third snippet belly band with a little mushroom. Now I saw these, where did I see them? Paper Outpost, I'm not sure. I will leave the link down below. It's an envelope. It's got a tuck spot in the back there, made from book page. This is one of the tags in the kit, and the papers I've used on here, nearly all of them except this and the writing paper, are from the kit. And it says, "Come fairies, take me out of this dull world, for I would ride with you upon the wind and dance upon the mountains like a flame. William Butler Yeats." And then that's a pocket. So we've got this long journaling card in here with some frogs and writing space on the back. So I made one of those to go in here. I said I'll link who that was from, the tutorial. There's more of that beautiful thistle Edith Holden with the bees and a little fairy there, because you know fairies and bees are friends. And then this is another one of my corrugated embellishments, and it says, "She could not repress a shiver." So she looks like the girl who in the other image was with the witch with the wishes, and this is actually a tuck spot, and it's just got a little writing bit in there. And here's from that Peter Pan book where they're all sitting around with mushrooms, and Wendy is telling the Lost Boys stories. Mary? Little fabric embellishment there with some buttons and tassels and bits. And some die cuts. So as you can see, there is a lot of space for writing, because I like to leave a lot of space for writing in my journals. And you could write on there. Might be a bit hard, but if you put something underneath, you could write on there. Music paper, more of that lined paper from the kit that I've kind of used as an accent on the page to write. Fabric pocket with another of the little paper pads that you can use from the scrap papers. All the pages are inked around in either purples or blacks or browns. This is a page from the book, from the kit rather, with the beautiful frog on it, and I've embossed the corner with a stamp and then put wand, and then turned it into a pocket. And then this is using some of the pages from the book and some scrapbook paper. I've made one of my collaged journaling cards with a little fabric tab there. And this is the other two-sided hidden paper clip. So you can see that fairy's embossed on there. So that acts as a tuck spot, but also just, oh gosh, watch me now, just slides onto your page like that and acts as a tuck spot on the other side. Another piece of Edith Holden paper with this fox, crafty fox. There's always fox in fairy tales often. More of the paper from the kit. Look at that, it's just gorgeous. Gorgeous. And then one of my corrugated embellishments, but I've made this a larger one and made it, this is from the kit, this beautiful little tag. So you've got lots of different size tags, and this image is from the kit too. And it's just a tuck spot there. Writing space on the other side. And look, there's that little fairy just flying through the book, seeing what you're up to. And this is from the, do you remember the poetry book? So this is the other side of the Land of Nod with all these sort of creatures in the wood, and this is the side for the shadow, the poem, so you can actually read these. Some writing space there and some stenciling. Lots of different colour papers, greens, browns, blues, pinks, purples, all sorts of colours. This is the another envelope from the kit. And I've sort of just tucked it, used a little embellishment that I had and tucked it in there with some stenciling. This is the larger envelope, and that tucks in there. I've left them empty because this is already a chunky book and I haven't put a closure on this. So, and this is the back. So that is Violetta, my woodland fairy tale themed journal. with her tassel. Now, when I was making this, the pocket you saw that I couldn't remember who made it, that was in one of the snippets, that lady also did one of these out of 3 book pages. And I thought, oh, I'll have a go at that too at the same time. And I was going to put it in the journal, but it's just too kind of chunky to put in there. So this comes with the journal too, but it's kind of loose. So you have a pocket here. All these papers, except this one, that's scrapbook paper, come from the kit itself. And that's one of the tags from the kit. And this is one of the larger tags from the kit. And these all tuck in. And then it's the same kind of tuck on this side. And this is from the kit, one of the tags. And then this is just a postcard that I had that I just thought kind of went with it, because these look like they're often, yeah, this is called the Slipper Orchard. Orchard? No, Orchid. And it kind of reminds me of Slippers, Cinderella, but also they look like fairy beds to me. Do you think? So that's in there. That's a postcard. And I've just put the Fae on there. And then inside is also a pocket. And I've left space to write on the back. So that's another sort of place to write and everything. Oh gosh, now I can't get it done because it's inside out. So that comes with Violetta. I feel like she's not dressed without her tassel, but you know, maybe that's just me. So yes, Violetta, my fairy themed design team project using the Dark Fantasy kit by Craftin. So let me know what you think. I have to say, I found making an embossed fabric hardback cover super difficult. I've liked how it's come out. Oh, one thing I was going to add, this is going to have brass-like antique brass corners. I've been waiting 2 weeks for my corners to turn up. Obviously, we all know post is a bit difficult at the moment, but yeah, I just didn't want to wait any longer because I have to get my design team video up. And so she's not complete until she has her corners on the front and the back. But hopefully they'll be here soon. And what I'll do is when they do arrive and I put them on, I'll just do a quick show and tell, I suppose, video to just show you how the corners have arrived. Yeah, so let me know what you think down below. Have you made an embossed fabric hardback cover before? Did you find it easy? Have you got any hints or tips to make it easy next time? I think I chose the wrong fabric. It was too stretchy, so it was really difficult to work with, especially on the corners. But I do love the fact that I've done a hidden spine for the first time, and I think that looks actually quite good. So I'm pleased with the hidden spine. No, I'm pleased with the whole journal, but I did find this difficult. So yeah, let me know what you think down below. As always, I love hearing your comments. Let me know what you think of the journal and how are you guys doing. I hope you're all doing okay. Thank you to all my new and my old subscribers. I appreciate all of you. If you like this video, please hit the thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, just let me know what you think in the comments below. Always love hearing your opinions, and especially when it comes to things like journaling, you know. How do you make your journals? What do you struggle with? What do you find difficult? So, yes, let me know what you think. And hope you're all safe and well and having a lovely day wherever you are. Warmest blessings. Belle. Bye.